Hey guys, it's Salah. In this video, I'll explain how you can use Instagram stories to build trust in order to acquire high ticket clients. This is the same strategy I've used to personally sell up to $8,000 in services just through using Instagram stories without relying on very heavy content creation. It's just built on basic psychology principles in addition to some tactics that you can implement today to get your first high ticket client in 30 days. So the core of the strategy basically is you really have to focus on being seen. Yeah. So there's 4 or 5 different things, and all of them start with being seen. You need to treat the Instagram stories not as a marketing channel, but as a daily broadcast of your life. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with making money? I'll explain to you right now. See, when you're scrolling through Instagram and you're just going through your feed, you really need to create a very compelling piece of content for your content to be seen by your ideal customer. At the same time, most of the content you produce will not be seen by that customer. So you're relying on creating heavy amounts of content to be seen enough times over the Instagram feed in order for a person to have that familiarity with you and then to buy from you. But the stories is a very peculiar place because you can showcase your lifestyle and people are using you as an escape from their everyday lives. So the Instagram stories, what I used to do is I just used to show what am I doing today, what am I reading, what am I eating, my life at the office. It emphasizes the principle of document, do not create by Gary Vee. Because if you're in the office every single day, you don't need to tell people, hey guys, I have an office. They can see that you have an office. If you're driving to work every single day in a Porsche, they can see that. You don't need to tell them. If they see you're going to the gym every single day, then they can relate to that as well. And then they have an idea about who you are. And when they see that repetitively over a period of time, they get the false impression that they know you. And on top of that, they get the impression that they can relate to the things that you show to them. So the very first thing to using Instagram stories to acquire high ticket clients is to really treat it as a daily TV show where people just get to see your face, if at least anything, and to just for you to stay on top of mind. Now, second, being present is one thing, but you want to focus on one more thing, which is adding value. What does that mean? Everybody talks about adding value. You need to position yourself as an expert in whatever it is that you're selling. So here's my day from morning till nighttime. It's nothing much, nothing crazy, but I wake up in the morning, I read, I go to the gym, I come back, I have a certain routine with my coffee, etc. I drive to the office, I come back to the house, I eat a steak. That is really my entire day. But in between, as I'm going through this day, as people are interested and like mindlessly watching me going through this day, I'll put up a story halfway through in the office, just showcasing what the company is doing. I would say that, guys, at AMZ Solutions, we came up with this and this and this, and this is something that for example I designed because our customer had this pain point, etc., etc. And then casually I just keep going about my day. And these small subtle cues get the people to reposition their mind frame towards you and see you as an expert in this particular topic. And that ties into every single thing you do, because now your lifestyle is seen to be a product of the expertise status that you claim or that you are putting out to the people. And as you can see, subtly, even when I'm creating content, I always have my Two Comma Club award right here, because I don't need to tell you that we have a Two Comma Club award. You can see it on a day-to-day basis, and it already has positioned me as an expert in whatever it is that I'm going to tell you today. So that is that, certainly positioning yourself as an expert by adding value in the topic that you are selling something in or that you are specialized in. It's a combination between lifestyle marketing, where your lifestyle becomes a TV show, and then positioning the expertise. It makes no sense for you to talk about real estate in between unless that's part of your everyday life if you are selling trading services. Okay, so that was the second thing. The second core thing, and there's actually a third core thing before we go to the strategies. The third core thing would be in telling stories for the purpose of building relatability. I believe that at some point in time, I focus so much on telling stories that some people would even ask, what is it that you're actually selling? Because we're not really sure. But when I do propose something to sell, people feel like they know me, they like me, they feel like we are the same. And that is done through storytelling. Through telling a story, you create relatability, and it's very important that you realize that the type of stories you tell need to match the audience that you are after. So at some point we used to sell courses, lower price items, and that was to people who just left university. You could be 25, 27, 28. You're looking to buy something for $500, $1,000, nothing crazy. I used to tell stories about how I thought university was a scam, how I didn't really learn much in university, how I just felt like it was preparing me to become in corporate, and the pressures from the family, etc., in making that transition because I believed in myself. So I was giving that villain arc aspirational story, which is a true part of my story, but I emphasized that part specifically because that's what resonated to my audience. Now that we are selling to a richer crowd, a richer audience, a very highly educated audience who probably has a master's degree, probably are doctors, who relied heavily on the educational system, I no longer tell those stories because they are irrelevant, one, to me and to where I am, and to my target audience. So the stories I tell today are a little bit different, more so about how I get to have more time to spend with family, or more time to spend traveling, or just the flexibility to do what I want to do and just enjoying myself. So it's a different type of story that I'm telling, but I start with the struggle point in which I knew that leaving university, going to work a corporate job, I would have to be stuck working several hours. I would not be able to control my financial outcome. I would be dependent on a salary and getting a promotion. And now I don't have to experience that because I get to come to the office whenever I want and leave whenever I want. So you see how I use that original story to somewhat relate to my target audience. So the stories I'm telling now are a little bit more sophisticated and a little bit more targeted to internal fears, internal concerns, internal emotional things, but the presentation is just relatable. I'm building relatability with my rich audience. And that is very, very powerful because just through the use of stories, you can actually create a strong connection to enable a sale, even if you do not even talk about what it is that you are selling exactly. And that has been the case for us and our partners, where they're seen as so much of an expert, they're liked so much that whenever they're selling something, people are just buying it because they know that this is a person I like, I trust, and whatever he's selling, as long as the outcome is, for example, to make money, I trust him, he will figure it out. So that's how we've been successful in selling Done For You services. And finally, we have to consider, how do we get the people who like us and trust us to give us their money? So let's recap all the 3 things we did so far. We made sure that we are present. They see us on a day-to-day basis, up to the point where if you do not show up online, they will start asking, where are you? We added value, positioned ourselves as experts. It literally says here, AMZ Solutions, my name, everything. Don't need to say much. So clearly an expert. And then we told stories that build relatability so they can see themselves in us. Now, to get those people who like us to give us their money, we need to start pitching offers with urgency. So this strategy I like a lot. I will just end of the month say, guys, I'm looking for 5 people to start their business in the next 90 days. If you have this amount of money, and this is what we will do for you, we will do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z without their biggest concern. So guys, we will do this for you without any time involved from your behalf. And send me a DM, brand or something for us to start working together. And then they would send us that DM. And then from there, it's so easy because you just get on a sales call and it's just like an order taking, because they feel like, I know you, I trust you, I like you, I have the money, you know what? I want to try it out with you. Yeah, I want to try it out with someone, but you are the person that I feel like I resonate with. I even had one person send me an email one time he told me one time that I sent an email talking about talking about a story about how, I was supposed to be an engineer, and then I sat there at some point and I said, "Will this how my life be?" And he just said, "Yeah, I just saw that story. I really resonated with it, and so that's why I decided to come by your program." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that is very interesting." Had nothing to do with actually posting content on what it is that we are doing. And if you look at all of my social medias, I have never posted more than 200 pieces of content in my lifetime relating to the actual core topic. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, only time will tell. I think posting more content now is the way to go. But despite that, we were still able to generate sales to our audience by focusing primarily on Instagram stories and primarily on building these 3 pillars of familiarity, adding value, telling stories. After that, we would just pitch each now and then with urgency. And not only that, actually, once you do that pitching, we would even show proof of the people who join our programs. We would show proof one person joined, this other person joined, or we would show our calendars, and it just shows more proof that other people are also interested in whatever it is that we are selling, to let people feel comfortable. So yeah, so that is the strategy that I use, and I would recommend that you can use to build trust with high ticket clients using Instagram stories. If you'd like to learn anything more related to this topic, or you have any question, just let me know in the comments or just send me a DM at salah.althanoui. See you next one.